going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. It is of course the end of the month, which means it is time for our monthly collection update tour. So today we're going to be going over everything that changed in the LEGO room, everything I reorganized, and everything I added to the LEGO room in the month of November. We had quite a bit of changes this month. I was really busy with the LEGO collection, improving it and making it the best that it could be. So I'm really excited to share with you guys everything that has changed and everything else too. So the first thing we did was of course this new shelf that I placed above my door, and as you can see it is very much a Return of the Jedi focused LEGO display. I love that movie, my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and here is the Ewok Village, one of my favorite LEGO sets of all time, and we've got this Stormtrooper kind of hanging off to the side, which I thought was kind of funny how that meets up with Avengers Tower. And then we do have some of the side builds from the village over here. And then this transitions us into the indoor speeder chase diorama, which I think pairs really nicely with the Ewok Village, and I love how this looks. A little underrated, but it is overpriced. And then we also do have the final battle diorama right next to it, which looks really cool. And then right above this, we do have the Imperial Transport shuttle, which looks really cool. I love that set a lot from 2021, and here is one final look at the shelf, and then right below it I've got my Star Wars Empire Strikes Back poster, which is my favorite Star Wars movie out of the entire saga. And then another big change that we made this month, I got a new TV stand and a new TV, which of course led the way for new shelves above it. And so the first thing that we're going to take a look at with this kind of updated display is everything that's on my TV stand. So we do have a few LEGO sets on here. We've got my Nintendo Switch, and then I also have the Office LEGO set, and I moved Michael Scott's Office up so you could see it a bit better. And then we do have my Xbox over here, and then we've got my Seinfeld LEGO set, and then above it on this display riser we've got the Friends Central Perk set as well. So really cool display. I love the sitcom sets, and I'm happy I was able to find a space for them. And then above my TV we have kind of some Star Wars stuff. I've got my 20th anniversary minifigures up here, and then we do have the first shadow box right here, which is the prequel based one, and then we do have my Star Wars The Clone Wars / Star Wars Rebels one, and this is the only one that's changed from last month. I did actually add a minifigure to it, and that is the new Ahsoka minifigure that we got with the Ahsoka line of sets, so I thought that was a nice addition. I just need to add Thrawn to that now. And then we've also got my original trilogy shadow box all the way to the end here. This has remained consistent over the month, but it does still look really cool. And then we do have the 20th anniversary Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi minifigures all the way off to the side, and here's a look at all three of them. And what I really like about these guys is that they are able to light up with this LED remote, and I think they look really nice when they're lit up. I love doing this at night because it kind of creates a cool atmosphere, and it really highlights the minifigures that I have inside of here. It makes them pop a lot, which I really like. And then right above this we have my Ninjago display, which hasn't really changed much except it's on a different shelf this month. But first off, we have Golden Sensei Wu all the way off to the side, commemorating 10 years of LEGO Ninjago, one of my favorite LEGO themes of all time. Grew up on Ninjago. And then we of course have Ninjago City Gardens, which has so much going on here, so many stories that I've placed inside of here. Definitely let me know what your favorite one is down in the comments, but I love this set. It looks so good from all the angles. I love all of the different colors, all of the different kind of structures inside of this set. It truly is one of my favorite LEGO sets ever released. I think it looks amazing, and I'm such a fan of the show, and this is like a love letter to 10 years of Ninjago. And then we've got this nice little divider kind of transitioning us from the gardens to Ninjago City Markets, which did come out earlier this year, back in June, which is also one of my favorite sets. And we've got Pythor displayed here, and tons of other minifigures from the various LEGO Ninjago seasons. Definitely let me know which minifigure is your favorite in the display, but we've got a lot going on here. I actually did used to prefer the markets to the gardens back in June when it first came out, but I think that was definitely a lot of recency biases. I think now I much prefer Ninjago City Gardens, but this is still a phenomenal set. Just not as good as the gardens, but it still is really cool. I love all of the details on this ground floor, and then there's even more on the second layer too. I think one of my favorite details is the Borg store in the back left, and then I also really like this cable car too. It's a very simple build, but I just really like it for some reason. And then we've got some more stories kind of in the back here. I really like the Torii right there, the little red gate, and I just think this set is amazing. I love the signage. And then we also did add the Hokusai Great Wave set behind it. It's kind of in the background, but I do really like it. It's a nice little backdrop for the Ninjago City Markets, and that's the Ninjago City display. Really the only new change was the Hokusai Great Wave set. And then speaking of art sets, we also have this Bo-Katan art set, which I did add to the collection this month. That's the final Star Wars art set that I have space for, and I think it looks really nice. And then we did expand this shelf on the top here too quite a bit, and I reorganized the entire shelf too, so it's very, very new. And the first thing we've got is Shin Hati Starfighter, and that's accompanied by some of the Mandalorian Starfighters. We've got the Fang Fighter and also Mandos and one. And then we also have the Mandalorian Battle Pack down here too, which I think looks pretty nice. So very happy with that display, and it kind of leads us into this kind of Imperial fleet. We've got the TIE Interceptor accompanied by the Bomber and just the regular standard TIE Fighter. Then I really like the Inquisitor Transport Scythe that is right above it too. I think that's a beautiful set. I love where I've placed that. And then we also, of course, have Darth Vader's castle. I really wanted to move this guy higher up so it just looks much more menacing, because it's such a good Lego set, and I didn't have it displayed the best way earlier, so I'm happy I moved it up because it looks much more impressive. And then we also are transitioning into the Ahsoka Lego sets, and then we also have Yavin 4. Same deal with the Vader's castle set. This set looks really cool, and I wanted it higher up because the higher up it is, the cooler it looks, in my opinion. And we also have the Y-Wing over here, and we've got some more Rebel ships. We've got, of course, the Ghost and Phantom 2 set that came out earlier in September, which looks really cool. We also have Sabine and Huyang accompanied with it, and then we do have the Tantive 4 from 2019 all the way on the edge here. I think it looks really nice. It fits in nicely with the Ghost and the Yavin 4, I think, and one of my favorite Star Wars ship sets. And then we do have the X-Wing above it, and I do want to put the A-Wing next to the X-Wing eventually, but I'll probably get that like in a couple months, who knows. But we also moved around a lot of stuff on the bookshelves too, so lots and lots of changes happened with the Star Wars section today. This shelf is very similar, it's just in a different spot, but we've got the Dark Trooper attack set, which is kind of the interior of the light cruiser, and I really like where I placed this because we have the interior, and then we have the actual light cruiser right next to it. That is, of course, accompanied by the 6 minifigures, if you include Grogu on it. And then we also do have the Imperial Armored Marauder all the way to the side here, and then we've got a Return of the Jedi shelf down here. We've got Jabba's sail barge, and I really love the minifigures that come with this set, and I've kind of got this cool little diorama going on. We've got the Sarlacc pit down here, and then we've got another Boba Fett with the Slave 1 up here. That's the 20th anniversary version of it. And then all the way to the side here, we do have the Desert Skiff Escape, and we're recreating that iconic scene where Luke Skywalker is saluting to R2 to signal for him to give him his lightsaber. And then down here we have another Return of the Jedi / Empire Strikes Back shelf. We've got the 2012 Jabba's Palace set, which is one of my all-time favorite Lego sets of all time. It is such a good set, such an iconic set. And then we also have the Dagobah Jedi training diorama, which is my favorite out of the entire diorama collection, and it is retiring at the end of the year, so definitely pick it up while you still can. And then we also have our Empire Strikes Back display down here. I moved all of my Hoth stuff down to this bookcase. It was on the top shelves before, but I kind of like it down here. It let me free up some space on those top shelves, which I thought was nice, and I am really happy with this display. We've got the Snowtrooper Battle Pack hidden in the back here, as well as the Imperial Dropship, and I really like this display. I think it looks very nice. I'm very proud of it. And then right below this, we've got my Death Star display. I have the Death Star 2 Gifts of Purchase, as well as the Death Star Trash Compactor diorama, and then we do also have the Death Star Trench Run. So we've got a nice Death Star shelf. I don't have the Playscale Death Star yet, but maybe in the future I'll get it, but as for now, I think this will have to do, and I do really like it a lot. And then below this, we do actually have a completely empty shelf, which hopefully I'll be able to fill up with some more Lego Star Wars sets that they're released in 2024. And then right next to it, we've got some empty space here, and then we do also have the Duel on Mustafar set, as well as the Obi-Wan Kenobi duel. So I do have space for one more duel set, if they do plan to release one next year. Hopefully they do. If not, I don't know what I'll put there, but empty space is good, I guess. And we also moved my brickhead display up here because I really like the Star Wars brickheads, but they were kind of hidden before. So we've got all of those guys here, kind of more in the spotlight. I have space for 5 more, so if they release some more, I'll definitely have somewhere to put them, and I really like this display a lot. And then another change that I made this month, I did move Boba Fett's Micro Fighter next to the UCS Millennium Falcon. I had a small space for it, so I figured why not occupy that space with something, and it's right next to the UCS Falcon, which I think looks pretty cool, and it fills in that empty space. And then we do have the holiday diorama below the Millennium Falcon. I think I'll keep this up year round, but I'll just like drop the Christmas decorations. And then we also have the display plaque down here, and then this is where the UCS AT-AT will go once I eventually get that, probably like closer to May 4th, I would imagine. But we've got the probe droid down here, we've got some snowtroopers displayed, as well as some rebels, and then we do also have the snowspeeder down here, which I think looks really nice, and I'm very excited to add the AT-AT to that. But right here, we've got my Funko Pop collection. I'll probably move this if they release more Mandalorian-themed LEGO sets, so I can occupy that space with LEGO and not Funko, because Funko Pops are cool, but LEGO's better, in my opinion. And this area has not changed at all. It's remained consistent with how it was in October. So here's another quick look at the UCS Razor Crest, which is one of my favorite UCS sets in my collection. I think it's probably at the number 3 spot. And then we also have my number 1, which is the UCS Millennium Falcon. This is kind of the UCS Star Wars area. It hasn't changed, but while we're over here, I figured let's just go ahead and show it off. And then I also have my art portraits. We've got the 332nd Trooper all the way to the left, which is probably my favorite out of the 4 I have. And then I also have Darth Vader, and then we have Boba Fett, and we have Bo-Katan at the very bottom. All of these are custom, except for the Darth Vader one, because I think the custom LEGO Star Wars art portraits are like really, really good. Like, most of them are better than the official ones, which is kind of funny. And then another thing that's kind of remained consistent with last month is the UCS gunship display. There's a few subtle changes, but like nothing too crazy. We've still got the display plaque for the gunship and some of the minifigures down here. We've got the Clone Trooper command stations from, I think it was either 2021 or 22. I'm not entirely sure, but we've got those guys kind of sprinkled around here. We've also got the Venator display plaque, and of course we have the UCS Venator, which is such a beautiful LEGO set. Seriously, go get this if you want it. Go get it. It is so good. Oh my god, it's probably my second favorite UCS Star Wars set, and I just love the placement of it. I think it looks so impressive in person, so definitely pick it up. Would highly recommend it. And then some more unchanged areas in the Star Wars collection, but I figured I'd show it off because we're in the Star Wars section, is this kind of Clone Wars / prequel display. Here we've got a lot of the Starfighters, and it's actually the older version of Yoda Starfighter, not the new one, because why get the new one if I have the old one? And this has remained unchanged. I don't really see myself changing this up too much, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think I'm very happy with that display. And then that also is kind of my same opinion for the one down here. We've got the ATTE and then the Clone Turbo Tank from 2016, and we do have a couple of minifigures posed around here too, and I really like it. Some of my favorites on this shelf is definitely Luminara and Commander Gree, but very nice shelf. Very happy with this display. And then right below this, I also have my Season 7 of Clone Wars display, which is a really fun season of Clone Wars. I definitely don't like the Ahsoka episodes, though, but the other 8 are pretty good. But we've got the Duel on Mandalore, and then we also have the Mandalorian Starfighter. We've got the 332nd and the 501st Battle Pack, and then I do also have the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle all the way to the side here. And then the final shelf over here is the kind of dark side display. Over here we've got the General Grievous's Starfighter, as well as the Bounty Hunter gunship, and then we do have Cad Bane's Justifier, we have the AAT and the Droid Tri-Fighter, which makes for a nice little display over here. I'm very happy with it. It's definitely gonna stay consistent, I would say. I don't really see how I would change it up. And then we also have the Mos Eisley Cantina, which has a lot of stories inside of it. We've got some Jawas running the shop over here. We've got some Tusken Raiders and some other just like civilians in the Tatooine area displayed around here. I'm really happy with this display. I eventually want to add Obi-Wan's hut to it, but I don't know when I'll actually do that. And probably one of my favorite stories I've got over here is recreating the "These aren't the droids you're looking for" scene with the Luke's land speeder, and then here's the actual cantina. Looks really cool. One of my favorite Star Wars sets ever released. Definitely get that guy before it retires. I think it's next year that it'll retire, so you still do have some time. And then there's the dewback all the way to the left, and here's what the entire cantina looks like from a distance. Very happy with this display. It's kind of like a nice Tatooine diorama, and then right above it we've got my helmets. I did move Cody and Rex around. That's literally the only change I made, though, to this shelf, but still pretty cool. I have all of the helmets that they have released, and I'm really sad that they discontinued the Star Wars helmet line, but I am happy with the ones we did get, and I really like the display I have where it's kind of above the window. I think it makes for a fantastic display piece, in my opinion. And then this then transitions us into one of the other new areas that I did. I'd been planning it for a while, but you can see here we've definitely got a big expansion for the LEGO City. First off, we've moved the pet shop all the way over here. You can see Venom and Carnage at the very top here. They don't really fit in with the new display, so I think I might definitely change this guy up a little bit next month. But the big addition over here, as you can see, is the Diagon Alley LEGO set, which is one of my biggest LEGO sets in my collection now, and also one of my favorites. And you can see I've really got this like kind of alley vibe going, because I have it pressed up so close to the boutique hotel. But we have Ollivanders and Scribulus in the very back here, and I've got some Harry Potter minifigures posed around here, but I definitely wouldn't consider this complete. I want like a lot going on here. So it's a very busy street in the Harry Potter universe, and it doesn't really look like that right now because of the lack of minifigures. But what I will say is I do really like all of the buildings. I like the structures. They're these nice little facades. They're not like fully closed in like the modulars are, but they definitely look like they are, which is great. And they're very easy to incorporate into a Lego city, which I really like. And I love how each building is so unique. Every single building has its own unique color scheme, and it just has a different architecture. So nothing looks super boring. It doesn't look the same. It's very, very unique compared to some of the other stuff in the Lego City. My favorite of the buildings on Diagon Alley definitely got to be Weasley's Wizard Weaves. That's hard to say, but really like this shop over here. And then we also have the Thestral carriage. I decided to move that over here. I know they actually belong in Hogwarts, but I thought it looked pretty cool to have that on the alley. And then I did actually finally complete the Hogwarts banners too, and I moved these guys around. They're now on top of Diagon Alley, and we of course have the Gryffindor one right here, which is probably my second favorite. My favorite is the Slytherin house banner, which looks really nice. And then we do also have the Hufflepuff, which is the other new one that I got this month. And then finally, all the way to the right, we have the Ravenclaw, which is my least favorite, which is kind of a shame because I love the Ravenclaw house, but the banner does not look good. But we also moved over some of my Nintendo art that's above my bed now. We might put a shelf here in the future, so those might have to move down the road, but for now, that's what it looks like. And then we also have my Star Wars display here. You can see my reflection in the posters, but we've got Clone Wars, Rebels, and Return of the Jedi over here. And then I also started my advent calendar, so here's like I think up till day 3 of December right here. And then I did also add Magisto's Magical Workshop, which was a fun gift of purchase that Lego had for Black Friday. And then I've also got the Tatooine Homestead and my minifigure spinner for my TikToks right here. And then this is also kind of unchanged, but we do have my DC and my Marvel shadow boxes here. We got the villains, the superheroes in the middle, and then all the way off to the left, we have my Lego Marvel display for my minifigures, and then just like the Star Wars ones, these guys also are able to light up, which I think looks really nice. Very proud of that, and they look really cool. I think my favorite out of the 3 is the DC Villains shadow box, because a lot of my favorite characters are in that one, and then I also really like the DC Superheroes one, and my least favorite is probably the Marvel one. Nothing against it, I'm just a much bigger DC fan than I am Marvel, and this area has remained the same, but we have the UCS R2-D2 at the very top here, and then I also have the BD1 buildable set below it, which looks pretty cool. So that's everything else with the Star Wars section and everything by my desk. Now moving on to some more of the new stuff, we of course have the Avengers Tower, probably the biggest change that we made this month, my most anticipated one, and I'm excited to show it off for y'all. We've got tons of minifigures displayed around it. We've got some taxi cabs in front of it. There's just a lot going on here, and I'm really proud of it. We also have this other like random car all the way off to the side here, which looks pretty nice. And then here's a look at the Avengers Tower. Of course, we've got some minifigures on the ground layer. We've got Hulk sliding off the building. We have Thor and Black Widow fighting off Loki. We've got this kind of battle for New York City going on. We've got Tobey Maguire in here, Black Panther. There's just a lot going on here. A lot. If you want to see it more in detail, definitely check out my video that I posted on Wednesday. But we've also got, here's a better look at kind of Black Widow jumping down on Loki. Then we do have this other Chitauri carriage, and here's a better look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man jumping through the multiverse portal. We have Dr. Selvig at the very top of the tower, and then we also have Vulture down here accompanied by Falcon and the Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man. And then we also have some minifigures posed on the little helipad up here. Not super proud of that display. Might change it around next month, but for now that's what it looks like. We've got Hawkeye down here. We've got the big Leviathan down here accompanied by some of the 2012 Chitauri minifigures. We've got J. Jonah down here by the pet shop, which was actually my first modular building in my collection. And then one of my favorite stories is Gwen and Miles Morales grabbing a hot dog down here. And then we do have the Daily Bugle display, which has remained fairly consistent, but there are a few subtle changes around here. We moved Punisher over, and then here's a look at everything else going on, though. We've got Hobgoblin coming out of the alleyway. We've got Green Goblin coming out of the building, so a lot of chaos is going on. One of the changes I'm really proud of, though, we've got MJ falling off of the Daily Bugle, and Spider-Man is kind of swooping in to save her. I really like that display. It's probably one of my favorites now. I'm very proud of that. It was inspired partly by Ash and Flash, but then I took some of his ideas and made it my own. And then we have Captain Marvel at the very top of the bugle, which is new for this month, and then Mysterio is at the very top, and then Firestar is still, of course, off to the side here, but still looks pretty cool, in my opinion. Very happy with this display. We've got Doc Ock down here, and then we also have Spider-Ham off to the side here, swinging in to stop the Green Goblin, and then we've got Nova off to the side here, and this kind of transitions us into the Sanctum Sanctorum display. We've got Wanda on top of Gargantos. I know there's two Wandas, it doesn't really make sense, but I don't care. And then we also have Dead Strange and Wong fighting off Gargantos, and then we've got some civilians down on the ground layer of the Dealer Bugle, and then we can kind of see the Ancient One and Doctor Strange and his allies fighting off Sinister Strange down here. This has remained consistent. All I did was remove the Iron Man from this display, so that's the exact same, but I really like this. I think the Avengers Tower really brought together the display and made it look like a finished product, and I am very happy with it. It's probably one of my favorite parts of my LEGO collection. I always find myself looking at this display way more than the others. And then another new addition was the LEGO Piranha Plant set, which is a really fun set to put together. I loved that set. I always loved the kind of 18 plus expert LEGO Mario sets, and here's the updated display here. We moved some of the smaller polybags around, and then of course we did add the Piranha Plant to the display, but some subtle changes here. Really the big one is, oh, there's a Piranha Plant here too now, but I still really like the Nintendo display. It's remained one of my favorites. I'm a lifelong Nintendo fan, so of course I love the LEGO Nintendo sets. We've got my favorite of the bunch, the NES down here, and then we've got some more of the polybags, and then we have Bowser, of course, playing the NES, which is a really fun display here, and then we do have this other enemy off to the side here, and then at the very bottom of this bookshelf, I've just got like some amiibos, and then I've got my Nintendo Switch game collection. I like to collect all the physical copies because I don't like buying the digital games, but that's my library of Nintendo Switch games, and then this has not changed, but it's right here, so we might as well show it. It's the 1989 Batwing display, and then we've got the plaque down here, and then right above it we of course have the Batwing, and then right above the Batwing we have the Jim Lee Lego Batman art, which I think makes for a really nice display here. Very proud of this. This actually segues us into all of the changes that we have made. There are now no more changes, so everything from this point forward is kind of just like going over a brief overview of everything else in my LEGO collection in case you hadn't seen the previous LEGO collection tours, and we're going to get into the kind of superhero section over here. We've got the Clayface Splat Attack from the LEGO Batman movie, and then we also have the Batboat Harbor Pursuit with the Deathstroke, and then we've got Killer Croc over here too. Here's the actual Batboat posed inside of the Batcave, which looks pretty cool, and then here is the Batcave Shadow Box from June of this year. Really fun set to put together, though definitely overpriced, but I love all of the rock work and all the details here. We're able to see some of the minifigures from Batman Returns down here and some of the Bat gear on the wall down there. I really like this set. It's a bit like simple, but it does still look really nice. We've got the Batmobile over the Batman logo over here, and then we of course transition into the huge Batman logo that is with this set, the part that actually can kind of close in on itself. And then we also have the 1989 Batmobile. So we've got the UCS one and we've got the regular one on the Batcave, and I think it looks really nice. Here are the 3 minifigures included with the 1989 Batmobile. There's the plaque, and then here is another look at the Batmobile, one of my favorite LEGO DC sets of all time. It's such a nice design. And then we also have our Dark Knight trilogy display down here, which looks really cool. We've got the display plaque for the UCS Tumbler. We've got the Joker and Batman displayed here, and then the UCS Tumbler is of course behind it, and then we have the minifigure scale Tumbler down here with the Scarecrow minifigure and the Nightmare Batman. So I really like this display. I'm a big fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, so it's nice to have a shelf dedicated to it. And then below this we have a nostalgic display. We've got the classic Batman minifigures, another Dark Knight trilogy set, and we have one of my favorite iterations of the Batcave. It's the one from my childhood, the 2012 one that's loosely based off of the LEGO Batman 2 video game, which I absolutely love that game. Definitely let me know in the comments if y'all played LEGO Batman 2. I played it on my Wii, but such a classic LEGO game. And then we've also got below this my Arkham Asylum display, which is another one of my favorite LEGO DC sets. Probably my favorite Arkham Asylum that they have ever released. I really like the gothic look to it. And then right next to it we have the Dynamic to a Funhouse Escape, another set from 2012, which looks really nice. Very happy with this display. It's more of a kind of villain display for the LEGO Batman universe. And then below this we've got my kind of Justice League, and then we have a few other Batman sets sprinkled in here as well too. We've got the Darkseid Invasion, which I got back in July, which is one of my favorite DC sets. Great minifigure selection. And then we've got the Batwing from 2012. We also have Joker's Steamroller, and then we do have the two Lex Luthor mechs side by side, which looks really nice. And then below this is my last DC shelf. I don't like this one as much as the others, but it is still pretty cool. We've got the classic TV series Batmobile, the Batman Batmobile, and then we have the Batman Batcave, which looks really nice. Very cool display, though it definitely is a bit hidden. And then right below this, we have some of my Lego books, and then some of my comic books too, so that's like where I put all of those guys. I mainly bought the Lego books for the minifigures, but I have to say the character encyclopedias are pretty cool. They give you some nice facts about the minifigures that you may have in your collection. And then right next to this, we kind of transition more into the Marvel stuff. We've got the Black Panther War on the Water set, and then we also have this other Hydra boat down here too, which looks pretty nice, though definitely not one of my favorite displays, but it is still Lego, so I like it. But right above it, we've got the Black Panther, I forget, I think it's not the Dragonflyer, it's the Shuri Sunbird set right here. We've got the Black Widow and Captain America bikes that they released back in August, and then we also do have the new Quinjet from January of this year. We've got the Ghost Rider mech and the Wolverine mech, so very nice display here. And then this is one of my favorite shelves in the Marvel area. It's the Avengers Endgame display. We've got the Endgame Final Battle from 2021, which looks really nice. I like all the minifigures posed over here. We also have the Bro Thor's new Asgard kind of hidden in the back here, and then we do have the Black Panther Dragonflyer. We've got the van from the Avengers Endgame Final Battle set, and then we have the new diorama of the Final Battle, which also looks really nice. And then above this, we have the Venom head, and then we've also got my Series 1 and Series 2 of the Marvel CMFs displayed here, and then we've got some X-Men sets all the way off to the right, which looks really nice. And then right above this, we've got a Spider-Man display. We've got the Web Warriors Bridge Battle Classic Lego Marvel set. And then we have the new Spider-Man No Way Home Final Battle diorama, which is one of my favorite Lego Spider-Man sets of all time. Love the minifigures in that. Such an iconic scene. And then here's a better look at the Bridge Battle from Ultimate Spider-Man. And then below this, we've got Miles Morales' car from earlier on in the year. And then above this, we've got my Iron Man shelf, which has the Nano Gauntlet, the Iron Man helmet, Hulkbuster from 2015, Ironmonger Mayhem, and then we do also have my favorite part of this shelf, which is of course the Iron Man Hall of Armor that I've expanded and added most of my Iron Man suits to this display. Such a cool display piece, one of my favorites in the Marvel section. And then now we get into some of the more like UCS style Marvel stuff. We've got the Guardian ship from 2021. I think this guy retires at the end of the year. We've got the Brickheads, and then we also have some of the Guardians 3 sets, as well as Star Wars helmet, which looks really nice. And then all the way off to the side here, we also have the Eternals and Arisham's Shadow, and then we have the Captain America shield, which was recently on sale. Definitely worth it on sale, but I don't know if it's worth it now. And then we also have Mjolnir, the Infinity Gauntlet, Hulkbuster from 2018, and the UCS Black Panther set. Very proud of this UCS Marvel display. I don't think I could really add anything to it, so I do consider that complete. And now let's take a quick little overview over the stuff over here that's above my desk. We'll start off with the stuff that's literally directly above my desk. We have the T2 camper van, which is a great set, one of my favorites. I really like the stickers on that and the color scheme. And then we do have my LEGO CMFs over here. I haven't changed these guys. I did make a lot of changes to them in October, but now it's full, so I can't really do much with it. And then I do have the Home Alone set over here. One of my biggest LEGO sets and one of my favorites, especially now with the holiday season coming up. I really do like this set a lot. And then right above this, we do have kind of my Halloween display, which I did change up a lot last month. We've got the Gifts with Purchase over here, the little Shark Island, and then we have Hocus Pocus, which is such a good set. Like, even though Halloween has come and gone, I still think you should definitely consider picking that set up. And then we also have the Monster Fighters Haunted House, which will forever probably be in my top 10 favorite LEGO sets of all time. Such an iconic set. And then we now move into the Stranger Things display. We've got the Upside Down, and then we also have the Stranger Things Brickheads too, which looks really nice. One of the most unique and creative LEGO ideas sets ever made. And then, or I think it's just a creator set, I'm not sure, but we also have the Ghostbusters Ecto-1, the kind of UCS version of that, to finish off this Halloween shelf. And then now we're getting into the LEGO City. This will have some changes in the month of December with the new museum modular building, but let's just go ahead and show it off without that for now, because I've yet to build it. It's still on the way as of recording this. And we've got the Palace Cinema, we've got the Detective's Office, which is actually one of my favorite modular buildings, definitely having a lot of nostalgia for that Detective's Office. It was always one of those sets I wanted but didn't get until recently. We've got the recently retired police station. It's now sold out on lego.com, so definitely try and pick that up if you can at any other retailer. And then We do also have Assembly Square right here, which looks really nice, and then right above it we have the Thor Love and Thunder Goat Boat set, and then we have the Jazz Club that was new for 2023, and then that is of course right next to the Parisian Restaurant, which is one of my favorite modular buildings that I got this year. I really love the olive green color scheme with it. It looks very similar to the new museum modular. This is where the museum's going to go, though I think I should probably move the Parisian Restaurant. I don't like having two olive green buildings next to each other because that'll kind of look boring. But we also have the Boutique Hotel. Here's another look at it. I know we saw it with Diagon Alley, but there's a better look at it. But anyway, though, that is everything for the LEGO Collection Tour for the month of November. We made quite a bit of changes this month. I think this will probably be the month that had the most changes for the entire year for the LEGO collection. We're definitely adding some sets in December, but definitely not as many as November, because December didn't really have as many releases. Just the Museum Modular Building is like the major one for me. But that is all for today. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of all of the changes in the LEGO collection of the month of November. I am very proud of the progress we made, and I'm even more excited to see how the collection will look at the end of the year. But that is all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.